Hey there, it's Maini Homer, the business whiz here with the amazing Krystal from Therapy Hour. We are here today to help Krystal solve a problem in her business. And as you guys know, the rule is if I can't solve it, she gets $100. So let's find out a little bit about Krystal and her business Therapy Hour. Hey Krystal, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for being on the call with us today. I'm looking forward
Thanks
to the
for having me.
challenge. All right.
Thanks.
Cool. Now, what's really important for people to understand on these calls is I actually don't know what you're going to throw at me. Okay. Because we haven't
Okay.
actually discussed that, have we?
Nothing at
No.
all.
Okay. So that's really
Yep.
important for them to know because I don't know what's coming next. Okay. Which is
Um,
kind of scary, but that's okay. That's part of life. So,
more,
Krystal,
more so for you.
yes, just a little, yeah, but that's okay. I'm pretty confident in what I do. So, yeah. So, doesn't mean you can deliberately try to trip me up, though. Okay. Be kind.
Got it. Yes.
So, Krystal, tell us about Therapy Hour. What's the go?
Yeah. So I started Therapy Hour. It'll be 2 years this December. It's my private practice. Started out slow, just my own caseload. So I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Florida, and I am 100% telehealth. So I don't do any in-person sessions. I am strictly just telehealth. I've been able to build it up to a group practice. So now I have 5 contracted clinicians that work under me. And I also am a qualified supervisor for registered interns also in the state of Florida. So between the two of client caseload and registered interns, that's kind of what my practice has evolved to.
Awesome. All right. That's fantastic. So totally
Yeah.
telehealth. So you don't have to worry about like premises. You don't have to worry about where people can come to visit you. I guess you work from home, do you?
Yep. And I travel. So, part of a lot of the therapist communities of traveling and whatnot. So I'm able to kind of see family, travel around. I did a stint in Virginia for about a month or so. I've got family in Key West. So I go down there for a couple months. So it makes it easy. Yep.
Nice lifestyle. Very nice lifestyle.
It
Yes,
is
it is. Yeah,
fun.
awesome. All righty. So you said that you built it up to a group practice. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. I love that. And I guess they're all working from home too and living their ideal lifestyle.
Yes.
What a great business to have. Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about who your target client is. Who is it that you like to attract?
Yes. Great question. So with personally, my caseload, my niche that I kind of concentrate on, definitely couples. So I love working with couples. I work with pretty much anybody in adult range, right? More specifically, that because I'm telehealth, my electronic system is all telehealth. So definitely clientele that are comfortable with telehealth, that are okay with working with the messaging system because everything is handled through messaging, like the HIPAA compliant messaging. And definitely, I suppose people that really can relate in some shape or form. I have, well, you can't really tell now, but my headshots are all colored hair. I have purple and blue colored hair. I've always had. I'm really relaxed and kind of laid back. So, kind of the same kind of clientele that represents that as well. People that are laid back, that are very forward thinking. I focus a lot on empowerment. So, any clients that are focused on looking for empowerment, communication styles, and definitely heavy with couples. So, anything between relationships, communicating within relationships, anything around that vicinity is what I really focus on when you're looking at my business in total with my practice. All of my clinicians work in all different niche, some will work with kids, some have families, some just want individual. So with the whole practice in total, I've been finding it difficult to market because there's a wide range of populations that we would see. And so for them, It's very spread. People who also are comfortable with telehealth as well, obviously for telehealth reasons. But yeah, it varies. And that's what I've also had trouble finding.
Okay, all right. So is that sort of like what you wanted to talk about today, is about how to market that kind of business?
Definitely marketing is probably my biggest issue, I'd say. More specifically for private pay clients. I take insurance and private pay, but definitely more specifically for private pay that will fit my clinician's niche and what it is that they specialize in and what they want to work in as well. And so I would probably say is my biggest issue at the moment that I've had trying to navigate for a while.
Okay,
So
all right, good. Okay, all right. So you've got probably what, about 5 different areas you work in?
absolutely. Some of them work heavy on trauma. There's a couple that work heavy with anxiety, depression, certain things like that. I am the only one that really works with couples.
Sure.
So I usually will take the couples, but definitely trauma focused. Some of them really like certain therapeutic styles, EMDR, things like that. So they'll kind of focus on that too.
Okay, so I'm just obviously taking a couple of notes down here, just as we go, just things that are coming to my mind straight away. So tell me what you've been doing so far to market it, because there's no point going over what you've already done, right? So you tell me what you've already done. So
Ooh, okay, so this is a great question. I'm also trying to navigate this kind of solo. So I think that's important to note. I am slowly trying to figure this out. So I was posting on social media to include Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. I have recently revamped. I was trying to revamp a little bit of my brand. So I removed some content and I've left like my logo and certain things like that. What else? I was working on my website. So my website before was with Squarespace, the host. I am now switching over to a different host. So I'm like right in the middle of navigating that while also figuring out if I'm going to connect a newsletter to my website. So that's another thing that I'm kind of working on. And then for therapy, we have a lot of directories. So we have Psychology Today, Mental Health Match are the two big ones that I use. There's also a couple that kind of trinkle. And so there's like a therapist tribe. There's some postings on social media for like clientele and networking with other therapists. And then I tried a blog before, didn't seem to stick any. And then insurance companies. So then I'm on panels with insurance companies, of course. That's about the best bet. I have not posted on social media for a while. And I did try a run of Google Ads. Tried that for a stint of time. I think it only brought me like 1 or 2 phone calls and no consistency of clients. So that's the other part of my marketing is my retention is fantastic, but the inflow to get them to me has been my trouble.
okay, thoughts. What am I thinking? Because that was a whole lot to come. So yeah, great that you've tried some things. Now, before we actually started recording, I actually gave you a pot of gold and I had no idea that it was going to relate to this call. And that's about testing and measuring. Okay. Now, what have you done to test how they've worked?
I haven't because
Right.
I don't know how. So the only thing that I might be able to answer that is Squarespace had some tools to set up for stats, how many clicks I would get, how long they would stay on the page for. So they had a little stats report. And then Google Ads also had a stats report of how many people it would reach. And then how many people it would possibly bring in. or like if I had like any like clickable clients basically from
Okay.
that. That's
All
the
right.
only thing that I'm familiar with. I actually don't know the rest.
All right. So let's have a look at some of the things that are coming to mind straight away for you. Now, first of all, I love your name. Okay. And it's really ironic that we're on this call today because literally an hour before we got on this call, I had a girlfriend call me she's a hypnotherapist. Okay. Yes. And so we've done a little bit of work together. I've solved quite a few problems for her along the way. But her issue was that she wanted to go into like a membership site and she wanted to sell different kinds of things. So she wanted to have one for like teenage anxiety and one for weight loss. And she was asking how she could put that all into the one rather than have 5 Facebook pages for different things. And so my advice to her just on the fly was the fact that if you just brand it generically, then you can pretty much sell anything. Okay, and that's the beauty. Now, your name is fine for that as well because it says therapy, which gives people a clue on what it is that you do, but it doesn't say anxiety. It doesn't say hypnotherapy. It's open, which is great for what you want to do. So you've got the different areas. Okay, so when it comes to your website, does each one of your services have a different page on the website, or is it all sort of mixed in what you do?
Right now, what I'm creating is a service menu tab. So when you hover over the service menu tab, it'll list out the different services like individual therapy, couples therapy, and I'm not sure to list out those problem areas or like those initial reasons why people would seek out.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, so here's the thing with when people are looking for help in an area. The only thing they actually care about is, can you solve their problem? That's number one. They have a specific problem. Are you the person that can solve it? Okay, and so this is what I advise many of my clients when they're doing their ads and stuff like that. That's the number one thing you want to do. Now, in your business, obviously, you're going to have many different problems that you solve. Okay, but there's no reason why in each one of those pages that you can't be solving the problems. And with your social media posts, you can't be solving the problems for people, just like I'm doing on this call now. Okay, but you know what I mean? Like, I've had 27 years experience. I've created 17 businesses from scratch, both 6 and 7 figure. I'm here to help people. So I'm helping you solve these problems that it might be easier for me to solve because I've got the experience where you haven't, if you know what I mean. So same kind of thing for you. Now, this information I'm giving you, does it make you feel like I know how to solve your problem? Does it help you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. And so what's happening right now is that you're gaining know, like, and trust with me.
Yeah.
So you're slowly getting to know me and getting to know that I have the answers to your problems. So I'm the person that can solve your problem.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You know, and so that's what you want to be doing in your own business. And I mean, you've got so much scope here to be able to promote yourself because you're doing so many things and you're solving so many problems. Okay. So my advice to you would be on how to market this is that you're going to have to get extremely clear on your clients for each area. Okay. And this seems to be a common problem that I find with businesses. And it always seems to come back to partly target market training, but I also want to look at some other things on the call with you as well, okay? Because, I mean, it's really important that you go through, I guess, a process. And when I'm talking about your target market, you were able to tell me a little bit about who it is that you're looking for, which is great. But to really be able to hit those pain points, you've got to understand them intimately. Okay, you've got to understand the people you want to attract intimately. So in the vault, one of the trainings I offer is the target market training. At the end of that training, if you do it correctly, you know your target market ideally. You know what they love, what they don't love. You know their fears, you know their desires, you know their needs, you know everything about them. And that's when you can truly start putting out your marketing to attract the right people, okay? Because without that, you're really just throwing spaghetti at the wall. in a way and hoping that it sticks. Do you know what I mean? So number one thing, and I mean, it's a process, okay? And, you know, it's not always fun, but business isn't always fun. Do you know what I mean? So the very first thing I would do for you is you need to get so crystal clear on, excuse the pun,
Yeah,
so
I know, right?
clear, yes, on your target market. And I'm not talking about people that say to me, oh, you know, well, they're 40 and they're a couple and, you know, that's great. But who are they? Because once you really understand who they are, that's when you can really start to attract, okay? Now, part of that is knowing exactly where they are. So let's say, for example, one of your therapists, let's go anxiety, and let's say that they want to attract business people. Where would be the best place for them to attract clients, do you think?
Business people like networking events. I mean, if you're in business, I suppose you'd go to networking events.
Yeah.
What
about LinkedIn?
Where?
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. Yeah. LinkedIn.
Okay. Let's go with that as an example. Okay. So let's go with business people that are suffering from anxiety. Okay. So what kind of anxiety are they suffering from? Is it job performance? Is it not being good enough? Is it confidence? Is it certainty? Is it procrastination? What is it that they're suffering? What is it that you can solve for them? Okay. And how do you market that on LinkedIn? Okay. Now there's ways and means that can be done through LinkedIn to attract the right client, if that's where they are. But maybe they're on Facebook. Maybe they're mums at home. Okay, or they're small home businesses and they're not really on LinkedIn. I was working in the wedding industry for quite some time, and especially with wedding dresses, and they weren't really on LinkedIn because why would they be? Their clientele is business to consumer, not business to business. Okay, so let's go with that example. So they were more on Facebook and especially Instagram, because they all love to get in their pretty dresses and do a little dance on TikTok and Instagram. You know, did that work for them? No, it didn't. But you know what I mean? They all love to do it. So that's what's really important, is knowing your target in detail and knowing where they are. That's one of the things. So once you know that kind of thing, let's go back to the example of a business person with anxiety. And let's say that one of the problems is procrastination. Okay. So if you know that Joe blogs on LinkedIn suffers from procrastination and anxiety and is looking for help in that area, you can focus your marketing on that on LinkedIn. Okay. There's also things you can do in the back end of LinkedIn. I have access to a way that you can be reaching out to 200 people a week, okay, through messaging, and you don't sell to them. That's one of the big no-nos on LinkedIn. I mean, how many times have you been on LinkedIn and you've got an inbox full of, do you want 15 to 30 new clients a month? No,
I don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, those people are utilizing the system in the wrong way. The way I advise my clients to work with LinkedIn is go in there, solving the problem. Show them instantly that you have the way to solve the problem. And that instantly takes that guard down from the, oh, do you want 30 clients a week? Oh, okay. Oh, well, this is quite a problem for me. And oh my gosh, this lady has just shown me a solution. So if that was the case, if one of your people were on there so, you know, we're doing anxiety in businessmen, businesswomen, for example, just an example, then knowing that client intimately and knowing exactly what their pain points were and exactly how to solve that problem, and then going to where they are and solving that problem for them. Obviously, you're not going to solve it completely because otherwise you don't get paid. Do you know? But you need to build that trust.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is what it comes down to. And the best way to build trust is to give.
Yeah.
Just like on this call right now. I mean, not only am I building trust with you, but whoever watches this call. You know what I mean? And so right now I'm talking to my ideal client, you, okay? Because I could help you with this marketing. I can help you crush this. But I'm also talking to everybody else that watches this.
Yes.
And who has similar problems. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's where you need to be focusing. You need to, I think first step for you, you need to work out who the clients are, target market in each area. Okay, I would recommend jumping into the vault. I'll give you a free trial for 7 days, but it's only $47 a month after that. And that target market training is a killer. Okay, that for you. You won't love it completely because it means you have to do some work.
That's okay. I'm in business for it.
That's exactly right. And that's a good attitude to have. And I mean, if you've got 10 or 15 customer types, then you're going to have to do it 10 or 15 times. Sorry, but you are.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
it's well worth it. It's well worth it because, like, I mean, honestly, once you know them so well, you know, then you can target, you know, your marketing towards them. And another thing that I advise people to do too is when you're doing social media, let's go back to the business person with anxiety, okay, on LinkedIn. So you want to be doing social posts that are going to attract that kind of person as well, okay? And so you want to make them so that they're relatable to them. The response you want to get from people is, oh my God, that is so me. Okay, that is the response you want because that's when they're going to take notice. That is when they're going to possibly take action. That is when they're going to share with their friends. Oh my God, did you see this post? Do you know what I mean? And that gets your name out there further. So once you know your target market, once you understand them, and once you know exactly all of their pain points, and we even dig deep into their secondary things. I was doing one for women in their 40s who wanted to find their purpose, who was feeling a bit lost. Maybe the kids had left home and they kind of what's left in life. And one of the things we asked is about the secondary benefits. So what was one of the things they wanted? They wanted financial security, okay? And that's all well and good to want financial security, but there's a whole other level to that, okay? And if you can hit that other level, that's your pain points. So they wanted financial security, but why did they want that? So they could pay off their mortgage faster. So they could feel more safe. They could feel more secure. Because that's the one you want. That's what you want. Okay. Well, now you look at the two ads. One that says, be more financially secure, or you get one that says, feel safe and know you've got enough money to get through retirement. Which one is going to work better for you? You know, exactly.
Safe for retirement.
That's exactly right. Be safe, be secure. And that's where we dig down. So how is that? Has that been helpful?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. I took down all the notes as you're talking.
All right, cool. So do you have any questions on what I've talked about at all, or?
I guess maybe the only other question that I might have is there seems to be a very big difference between private pay and insurance in my field. And I don't know if that's something that I distinguish when I try to market, while also insurance plays a big part, right? But specifically with some of that private pay is tricky for me to navigate.
So you have insurance companies that refer clients, correct? Is that right? Yeah. Is that a steady source of income currently?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, good. And then you have people that aren't covered by insurance and want to pay privately. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So is there a way you can mingle both? Okay. And now the reason why I say this is because what happens if you've got your private pay people, or you are showing your services for private pay, but they can't really afford it, but they've got insurance and they didn't know that you're covered by insurance. Okay, so intermingle it. These are our prices. We're covered by this insurance company. Or we work also alongside. So if this is not an option for you, is this an option for you? Just finding ways. So, I mean, you can actually intermingle the two. Do you earn less with the insurance people? I mean, do you have to do a cheaper price or anything? Or
they do have standard rates for insurance, and it also depends on copay. So technically, clients could be paying a lot less or not paying at all. And then there is the occasional where sometimes their copay is more than my private pay price. And so sometimes it does overlap.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, well, I think there's definitely scope there. And another thing that has just come to mind, along with mixing the two, is I gather you're dealing with some pretty big insurance companies, right?
Yeah.
And that's social proof, darling. That's massive social proof. I mean, these insurance companies entrust you. They trust you to provide the service. So utilize that. Don't be afraid to mix the two, because not only is it possibly giving people a different alternative to be able to use your services, it's showing that these companies trust you, and that's massive. As far as social media goes, I mean, it'd be like having a Kardashian on board. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So don't be afraid to mingle the two. Definitely. Yeah. Don't be afraid to utilize. I mean, shout it to the rooftops that these insurance companies support your business, because that gives you credibility, so much credibility. So that might not be the answer you were thinking you were getting.
I think there's a handful of insurance companies. I take about 5 or 6 different insurance companies. So
then use that. I mean, like their logos, everything, because you're aligned with them. So don't be afraid to shout that from the rooftops, because that gives you massive, massive credibility. And that can actually take away some of the
I like it.
Need for like, no trust as well, because it's like when somebody refers you to someone else, then you're more than likely to trust them more straight away, because your friend has said, oh my God, they're amazing. Do you know what I mean? So utilize that relationship. Absolutely use that power behind you. So to recap today on the call, so you've got like obviously many different areas. Okay, definitely jump into the vault, go to that target market training. Okay, it's there for you. It will help you kick butt, seriously. Start with the ones that you want to promote first. Okay, the ones that you believe would be the low-hanging fruit. Okay, because obviously it's about getting clients through the door as quickly as possible, isn't it? I know you've got some, but to grow it. Okay, and I've got to say that without having this knowledge I've given you today, you've done amazing already, honestly, because this is gold, what I've given you. Yeah, so well done you, because you've done amazing anyway, so well done. I mean, if you built it to a group practice, but
thank you.
Yeah, now it's time to like, really hone down into that and just start doing that training. And then start looking at your social posts. Now, we do offer a service, just so you're aware. We do relatable posts, relatable socials. What we do is we look at the pain points and we come up with either ironic or funny or relatable, things that are done on the post. And the reason for that is because we work towards invoking that, oh my gosh, that's so me. Obviously, the more you can do with those, people will see them, people will like them, people will share them, and then they'll be looking for your posts again, because you'll be training your audience that they're going to get a laugh, they're going to get an irony, they're going to get like something that's going to relate to them, and it's going to help them with that like, no trust. So we offer a service where we provide those for you. We can do either just doing the writing for you, or we can do the actual reels. We make reels and all kinds of things. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in as well. I love doing them because I get to sit here all afternoon and just write jokes, and it's great fun. I'm going to do one this afternoon actually for a baby sleep company. So that's going to be hilarious.
Nice.
So just as to recap, so obviously you've got many different areas. I advise strongly to do that target market training on each one of them and really, really dig deep. With the training comes the templates you need. Okay, so you just basically just get to fill it out. There is interviewing. You've already got clients in each area, so you need to find clients that be willing to be interviewed, because they're already your ideal clients. And that's how you find out. That's how they already know, like, and trust you. They're going to share. And so that's how you find out more about them, because that's who you want to continue to attract, right?
Yes.
Once you've got that, then you know exactly who they are. You'll know exactly where they are. You'll know exactly the problems they want you to solve. You'll know the solutions they're looking for. and you'll know where to start attracting those people. Okay. If you've got someone LinkedIn, I've got that system that can automate up to 200 DMs a week going out, and providing you do it the right way, but providing you don't do that 15 to 30 leads a week kind of thing, then you can get good responses. I've had one client who started 2 days ago and she's got 26 responses already.
Wow, that's amazing.
And that's 26 potential collaborations for her.
Yeah.
So I think she'll be telling me to slow it down soon because she won't be able to keep up. That's only 2 days in, do you know what I mean? So yeah. So there's plenty of ways that we can help you grow. Or if you are determined to do it on your own, then I'll see you in 6 years.
Facts.
That's the reality of it, love. I mean, like, you've got, you and I have connected now. I'm hoping that you've learned to like, know, and trust me. And
yes.
it could probably help you a hell of a lot faster than you would on your own. So, yes. Thank you. All right. So any questions? Has this been helpful today? Do I get to keep my $100?
Yeah, no, super helpful. I got a lot of really good tips, got a lot of really good information. I'm definitely interested in some of the services. So hopefully, yeah, if you can send some of those over and I can kind of look through, kind of follow up, because some of these things aren't hitting where I need them to.
Yeah.
So this is a really good foundation that I can kind of make some of these changes and fine tune a lot of this, starting with my website. So yes, definitely hugely helpful. Thank you.
And I get to keep my $100. Woohoo!
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for being on Maini Solves It today. And I'm glad that I've been able to give you as much as I have. It's been good. And I look forward to potentially working with you in the future.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries.